I finally beat every ending in Integrated Strategies, Arknight's premier roguelite mode. And between the absurd stages and the even more absurd bosses, it was a wild journey. You see, all the way back in September of last year, I decided to commit to clearing it all. Enfield was coming out soon, and I didn't really like the idea of leaving the OG Arknights unfinished. Thus began 24 grueling days of me being mercilessly blasted by everything Arknights has to offer. So come and join me as I take you on that journey.
That's concrete, baby!
Now, IS has always been my comfort mode, if your definition of comfort is getting run over by a truck repeatedly, but it is a majority of my playtime. Over the years, me and my friend would just lay on the floor, grinding IS 2 and 3 all day. So when I came back to deal with all those old bosses, well, back when uncultured caveman waved around brittle sticks, the challenges they faced were simple, natural. But as technology progressed, so did the tools people used. Give a man a sword, and he must get up close and personal. Give a man, however, an intercontinental ballistic missile, and suddenly the problems of old don't seem so challenging anymore. Case in point, right at the beginning is so good. Yeah, it turns out IS 2 and 3 ain't shit when you're using technology from 300 years in the future. Crimson Troop and Seaborn alike were mowed down. The best showcase of that was how those same bosses became fodder in the most recent Trials of the Navigator. Even the Last Night wasn't safe from more modern war crimes. No, the real friction began when the IS-4 bosses started to require brain cells. Ending 1 was simple enough to brute force. And while really annoying, if you had the DPS, then Ending 2 isn't too bad when you understand the gimmick. But unfortunately for me, you can't just instantly nuke Ending 3, because the entire time this stupid orb is invincible! The idea of this boss is that it teleports between 4 points in the cardinal directions, continuously firing projectiles that deal good damage. But there's a spicy little pillar in the center that takes time to charge up. Once it does, you can temporarily put a pause on its invulnerability for a few seconds. Between the boss's high damage, its adds being powerful ranged units, and its spreading its disease everywhere, the Ascendant requires precise setup and timing. But to make matters worse, as the battle drags on, it starts teleporting multiple times, making it hard to actually target. Honestly, this boss gives me nightmares, specifically because of this iconic moment. Okay.
To look above.
Please, is that it? No, 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 no. No, 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 there's no way, there's no way, there's no way. I was so overstimulated that I straight up missed the ads. Still, run after run were lessons learned, and by the end, I focused on using summons to grab aggro, with Wishadel, Keltsit, Mumu, and Eblana juggling the damage taken. And I finally put the danger marble down. The last ending of IS-4 is actually a set of 2 bosses. And in my first attempt, I was not prepared for either of them. Meet Tweedledee and Tweedlefuck! The ancient Aslan has a unique trait of absurd arts res, and its Kagon counterpart has the opposite, a ton of physical defense. If you want to have a chance, you need to plan around having both types. But Ending 4 is also a technical test. If you beat one, the other gains a stupid amount of stats. On runs where I failed to equalize their HP, I barely even scratched the survivor. Oh, also, do y'all remember that giant cannon in the Londinium? Well, this ending is cute and quirky. It has 2 of them! Okay, honestly, I'm complaining a lot, but compared to some of the bullshit in the future, it wasn't so bad. I eventually equalized their HP enough with a constant stream of lap-based damage and won the day. But next up is a more modern IS. It's time to meet the sarcasm of IS-5.
We're counting on you again today, little apple.
Oh, IS-5, I don't know what to think of you. Story and thematic-wise, it's among the best. Each ending is an incredible read. Later on though, cracks in the balance start to show, but we'll talk about that later. First, Ending 1. Nothing to really say here. All the first endings for each IS are pretty easy once you get the hang of them. But as for Ending 2, I was doing something a little unique. You see, at the time, I was attempting an Arknight's Nuzlocke. As in, if an operator died during an IS run, they were permadead and I could not use them again. And for some sick and twisted reason, that's the rule set I used to beat Ending 2. If you haven't seen it before, the bosses are our favorite Sarkaz siblings. Teresis and his clones are firing laser beams like a true Saber-class servant. And Teresa is just vibing there, chillin'. Also, she's the one spawning the clones and infinite adds. Between all the random damage being thrown around and my Nuzlocke restrictions, this was a bit tough. Teresis has a ton of defense and resistance, kind of forcing you to have to abuse true damage. Thankfully, I have Keltsit and a roided up Lappy. But when you reach phase 2, turns out this happens. My entire board is dead in a Nuzlocke. Thankfully, I still had IS module Rosmontis to hold the line. but I have never been more terrified in my life. But we got through it and moved on to ending 3. Remember when I said that IS-5 has a balancing issue? Well, this was the point where my chat taught me how to play the damn game. Step 1, Arketo with IS module. Step 2, Lamp. To this day, I could not tell you what the boss in ending 3 even does. That's how fast I put him down. Yeah, once you figure out proper lamp tailoring, this IS becomes a cakewalk. Or so I thought. In every run, you get infinite attack speed, damage, and resistances. You'd think at that point, everything would become fodder. Well, turns out they started balancing around that, and thus began a month straight of me being stuck on ending 4. If you've seen one of my previous videos, I've already ranted about this vile creature. In fact, I'll let past me take it away. This absolute fucker has over 2 million HP, summons infinite adds, some of which explode, others instantly kill operators in their path. He will nuke the map if he's blocked, has these little flower things that must be healed, but if you don't, then they will also nuke the map. Then he has this whole other second phase on a different map, where you can only use operators previously insta-killed by those fuck-ass boats. Now for me, it's not quite 2 million HP. I am far too dogshit at the game to do max difficulty, but the rest still applies. But before that, you remember how I called ending 1 fodder? Suddenly, this shitter is tanky as all hell, and I got boated. After some optimizing, I was able to consistently beat it, but that doesn't make challenging the final boss any more doable. For stream after stream, this boss became an iterative test of optimizing my team building and learning proper positioning. First problem to solve: how do I not get instantly overrun? The answer turns out is silence. As a cheap unit with a global drone, I was able to stop getting wiped by those damn flowers. Problem 2. How do I hold Qui'lon back without blocking him? Well, if I'm running Arketo, turns out Techie and Chobai lets me permabind. And from there, I just have to properly position defenders and DPS to hold the line while I slowly whittle down the boss. Unfortunately for me, there exists a second phase. I was so focused on beating the initial map that the first time I went to the second one, I had nothing to use. Which led to the final and most difficult problem. How do I get Arketo on that damn boat without instantly losing? In every run without Arketo holding the right side, I can't get my permabind setup to work at all. I would constantly just bleed into oblivion, with random adds walking up and tanking the binds. So I had to figure out DPS workarounds while simultaneously not ruining my lamp tailoring, and figure out the proper timing to retreat. And after many attempts, I finally did it. My solution revolves around a few key operators. The first couple are obviously Arketo and Chobai. As my main DPS and permabinder respectively, they were who I built everything around. Next is Monster. Originally I positioned her very aggressively to make full use of her absurd true damage, but as it turned out, that was way too greedy. In my setup, it was correct to instead use her only for healing and dealing with the flowers. Then it's Jessica the Liberated. This might surprise you, but as a defender with good DPS, the King's collectible buffs let her mostly hold the left side on her own. But why her specifically? Because she made my run seamless. Jessica's class is Sentry Protector, meaning she shares the same hand collectible as Arketo. She does not ruin my lamp tailoring at wish fulfilled nodes. And the final piece, Tragodia. This whole time I'd been using his S2, but I realized that wasn't the role I needed filled. By changing his skill to S3, he was able to properly hold the right side after I retreated my Arketo. And one amazing run later, I was able to make it to phase 2 with all the tools I needed to win. With Gummy holding the line for Arketo and Monster, I beat that damn boss and ended the long dark nightmare that was ending 4. On a piss random run! I did it on a piss random run! Now, you'd naturally think I'd progress to ending 5 from here, but because at the time I was busy competing in Box Bootcamp in the Paris Open, when I finally got back to Arknights, IS6 just came out. So I made a decision. So we'll do all the ending 6s, and then we'll go back to ending 5. Since it's like, oh, the final boss is Amia, it's kind of poetic that that's the last one. And so, I began my adventure in the sweet consciousness. After getting violated many times by shit like Feng Shui in this fuck-ass plant stage. Oh my god! I beat ending 1 pretty uneventfully. It wasn't too bad, just body block the exploding ghosts and you'll win as long as you're paying attention. The real friction came when I began attempting ending 2. I still didn't really have the hang of this IS. Most of my ending 1 clears were high rolls, but I eventually came to learn the mechanics I needed. Runs became consistent when I hoarded recruitment vouchers and dug for the stir-fry collectible. But even despite all that prep, it was still terrifying to encounter this without knowing what it was. You are— oh, what the fuck is that? My first few attempts at the sweet foot fetish ending were less than stellar, especially with that horrific left lane. But I eventually figured out how to win through my goat. Oh, Radian, my beloved. The reason I grind this IS at all. By just using her fish, I baited that foot down so that Miss Apple Pie could have her way with it. It got a little tense, but we sealed the deal and moved on to ending 3. But there's a certain prerequisite stage you have to beat to get to the boss. Meet Clarity. When you don't expect it, this stage is unplayable. The information gap is large, and I had to come back in order to properly take a stab at it. But first, let's talk about my marquee operator for ending 3, the MVP, Yato Alter. When I started attempting this ending, I brought up that I had pulled her, but never actually raised her. And after getting ruthlessly made fun of by my chat, I decided to build her and hard force her for a run. And well, she decimates this map. She gave me all the space I needed to deploy everyone else. And from there, I tried ending 3 for the first time. Every time I place a fucking unit, she places the flaws. But I'm perfect. I have no flaws. So why are we doing this, huh? Yato. Boom. Okay, I mean, that was a lot of chunk. I'm a bit at a loss here. Without healers, I don't know where to put my units. We do have this tile taken. Let's put Amiya here. Maybe we can hold the line. You get Scotty up and running. That's what's important. Okay, first time phase 2 of ending 3. I've never seen it before in my life. Oh, you summoned 3 trillion tiles. One time for the wand. Why are you all stealthed up there? Be so for real. Die! I didn't target it! It dealt no damage. Uh-oh. And that was IS6, which means one thing. Time to go back to our roots. Back to a sarcasm-induced hellscape.
Okaeri, Doctor.
The end of our journey is where it all began. Even if Amiya warmly took our hand in that sarcophagus so many years ago, it came time to put her down to rest. Is what I would say if she didn't beat my ass! I entered this fight completely blind and, well, fate's finale. What the fuck is that? What is happening to me? What are these? What is ending 3 doing here? No, what the fuck? It's Spirecasters? The Spirecasters? How do I play the game? How do I play the game? No one can be fucking summoned. I couldn't play the game. I couldn't summon anything the second I summoned a single unit. It immediately got fucking cock-blocked and put in the bone zone, and I couldn't even fucking use it. I couldn't use its skill. And then it summons Spirecasters, and then it summons Ending 4, and I get Perma-CC'd, and I can't fucking shoot anything. I was completely clueless, and my second attempt wasn't much better. Ooh, damn bitch. Budok's tea is gone. Wait, what? Eventually, I got sick of getting belt to ass, so I VOD reviewed and took some advice from the chat. And there were a few important lessons. First, I had to go back to completing ending 3. Remember that boss I said I didn't know what the fuck it does? Well, I still don't. But doing so means I get a whole extra floor of stages, giving me a guarantee of robbing Cannot and getting exponentially stronger. Second is grabbing at least 2 quick redeploy units. Gravel came clutch, and I used her in conjunction with Yato to repeatedly bounce the eyeballs where I needed them. And damn did I need to. The goal is to clear all the ads before defeating the sub-boss. In phase 1, that's Patriot, and in phase 2, that's Teresis. If you pop open that cage with an eyeball too early, you are fucked and can instantly lose. So this became a highly technical battle of pure timing. And thus, I began my 3rd attempt. We are back! This is the final ending that we need to beat every single IS boss before Enfield comes out. And we have the Giga Run. It's actually so absurd. Every collectible we need. Every operator we need. The Prosperity Epoch. We have the sauce. Holy fuck, we're putting Amiya down. Put Gravel right here to block it. The one that has a diamond. Like this. I'm supposed to be doing what I just did right there.
gather some dry branches. We must hurry up, my rats.
And the enemy, 3 hardships. Engaging.
My talons shall be my stethoscope. Patience.
Perfect. Okay, is this the same thing as... Do I have to do the same thing in the next phase?
If I will flee, it's no use.
I'm like so tense right now. Where's the fucking ball here? There is none. Okay, shoe's just useless.
Not far.
Y'all were so for real right on gravel. On the gravel tech. The gravel tech was everything.
If I will flee, it's no use.
Okay, got that. I have to deal with...
Your orders.
Treat that. I would unlock Theresa's sooner. Okay. Oh, okay. What is the sauce here? This is where it's scary. I don't understand.
Hello. I'm here for a brief survey. Don't worry. I lost them.
Fuck you!
Now they're at my fingertips.
Cal? And you.
I'm here to help.
Okay. He's back. She's in an egg now. She's in an egg now.
In position.
What?
I'm listening.
There was more?
Deployment is missing a little.
No, the caster! Is that... The health bar went big again! It went big again!
I never expected to encounter so many people on this map.
Huh? Ah! Yes! Yes! Fuck! Holy shit, you guys were so right! Yo, that was such a technical boss! Holy shit! And there it is! After so much time, we finally beat integrated strategies. And holy shit, was it hard. Now I know what you're thinking. Am I gonna do future IS-6 expansions? Of course I am. As soon as that comes out, we'll be back on the grind. And will I do max difficulty? Fuck no! Who do you think I am? Dr. Silvergun or Pit Anger? I am only kinda going for that in IS-6 strictly to raise Radiant. Anyways, that's all I got to say. So I just wanted to give one final thank you for helping me hit my goal of 1,000 subscribers. So look forward to the future, because I got a bunch more videos in the works. Peace out.